Hi everybody, my name is Kerry. I'm a direct sales expert for the last 30 years working with big companies, small companies, entrepreneurs, Fortune 500 companies, every size company in between. We're talking about the 5 questions that are going to help you separate you from your competition, 5 questions that's going to help you crystallize your marketing message to big time results. There's just 5 questions to testimonials. Anyway, these 5 questions I want to talk about today is something that I talked about this past weekend. I was at a small convention. You know, when I was with the group that we were talking with, we were talking about, and I was giving this presentation, we're talking about the 5 questions you need to do to stand out. It really resonated with this group. This group was physical therapists that are in school, young physical therapists, clinic owners, and some really awesome people that put on this convention. Aaron Paul, Greg Todd. It was fantastic. So anyways, I was talking in my presentation about these 5 questions, and I was directing those 5 questions specifically for how you get 5 questions you want to ask a testimonial. As I spoke about these 5 questions, I got some really good feedback from the attendees, and they were talking to me about how meaningful and how valuable that information was to them. And I think it was great because at the end of the conference, another gentleman, Jerry, was saying how these 5 questions can really resonate through so many things that this group can do. As I came home and thinking about it, it really can resonate a lot of ways that help you crystallize your message and get big time results. Because part of what you need to be doing in your business, whether it's you as an individual or your company, part of what you need to be doing is you need to be crystallizing your business, crystallizing your message. And the only way you can crystallize your message is A, that you've worked at a long time, or B, that you are getting a lot of feedback from your customers. You ask your customers and clients some specific questions, and they give you feedback that was helping you to put together your message. So I'm going to go back to those 5 questions. The first question is, when you're talking to somebody, now I'm going to talk about it in the terms of getting a testimonial interview. And then I want you to see how these questions can resonate in so many other ways. First question I want you to ask your clients and your customers is, what problem are you having? What's the problem? What's the stumbling block that you're having that hopefully I can help you with, okay? So once you find out that problem, at least you know a starting point. Next question is, and it's kind of a 2-part question, but how did I solve that problem for you? And through solving that problem, what was the transformation that you went through after I solved that problem? That's a very, very important part. And just hearing about what that transformation is and how you solve that problem gives you the ability to start crystallizing how you want your marketing message to be, because you may solve that problem in a very unique way that'll give you a point of differentiation from your competition, okay? And that kind of feeds into question number 3, and that is, what did I do differently that was able to help you through that problem? You may have been working with other people, and I don't care if it's, you know, on a patient physician way or a client company way. There's so many different ways that you're working with somebody, and you want to find out from somebody who you're working with, what did I do differently? Did I do something differently that helped you get the results you were looking for that stuck out? And like I said, that one thing is going to help you understand a very important crystallizing marketing message you can do for yourself, and you can make yourself totally different and separate yourself. The 4th question is, how was it working with me? You want to ask people, how was it working with me? And get them to explain what they really liked about working with you. What were the shining moments, if you will? Again, when people can talk about what it was like working with you, you can get a real good indication of what makes you different, how you separate yourself from other people. And finally, the last question I want you to ask is, why would you recommend me to others? That question alone is going to elicit a response that is going to be different with any person that you talk to. And the important thing about that is those last 3 questions start to crystallize. You're going to be hearing things over and over again. Even though you're talking to different individuals, you may be hearing the same thing over and over again. If you do, you need to start listening to that. That's that little message on your shoulder that's saying, wait a minute, that's what people like about me. That's what I've been able to do differently. That's how I solve somebody's problem. That's why they would recommend me. When you get that answer, That should be the genesis of how you are going to crystallize your message and how you're going to market to people. That is going to help you to big time results, because you're going to identify something in you or in your service or in whatever it is that you do. You're going to be able to identify something that nobody else has. And that's a really important part to crystallizing your message, is your point of differentiation. And we call it your unique selling proposition, which is really important to grab a hold of that and own that, because that's what people are going to gravitate towards you for. You're not like everybody else. You do something better than anybody else. You do something different than everybody else. And that's what people want. They're looking for that edge, that difference, that point of reference that's going to make you that much more valuable to them. As I was saying, there was a gentleman in the conference was saying, that might be maybe not all 5, but 3 of these are possibly a way to start a patient process. So if somebody calls in to an office, instead of saying, what's your insurance, or you need to stop doing that, maybe the question you start with is, what's the problem you're having? You use that in a clinical way. You're asking a patient what's the problem they're having. Already you're engaging with them on a totally different level. You're creating a relationship, a personal relationship, instead of just give me the facts and there's no connection between you. That would be another example of how to use it. And then instead of saying, don't do this, ask them the question, what would you like to be doing? What is this injury stopping you from being able to do? What would you like to be doing again? So that is a different way to going after the solution. You're going after the solution in a different way because you're looking from them what they'd like to achieve. And then you start putting together your prognosis or your evaluation and start figuring out how to help people. And then you get to the end, what was it like after you've helped that person? What was it like working with me? Would you recommend me? So you can see 4 of the 5 of those questions really work in totally different ways. And then that information is going to give you client basis, patient, doctor, or therapist, or whatever basis. That information is going to give you the ability to start thinking about how you might talk to other people about getting people to want to work with you so you can serve them. I just wanted to talk about that today because, like I said, I was at this convention. I was just very excited about, being around some positive people and hearing how these questions that my wife and I have been using for the last 30 years doing testimonial interviews, and how it just cuts to the core of what you're trying to find out so you can pull out the good information that you need. For us, the good information we need to get a great testimonial story. For you, however that is, whatever that is in your profession, how you can cut to the core of trying to find out how you're unique and how you might want to market yourself or crystallize your message so you can start getting big time results. Because if you can crystallize your message, then people know exactly why they're coming to you. When people know exactly why they're coming to you, you have a much more qualified customer. You have a much more qualified person to work with because they know exactly what they're coming for and you know exactly how to help them. And that's just a better situation to start off right out of the gate.